Alright, hello everyone, my name is Sam, and today we are playing You Find Yourself in a Room. I played this a little while ago, and I don't remember much, but we're gonna go with it anyway. I'm hoping the music for this isn't too loud, because it looked like it was too loud when I was testing, so tried to fix it, hopefully it did. I will talk louder now, so maybe you can hear my voice over this. Alright, let's get started. I clicked. Okay. Heads up, this game features foul language and a few heartbreakingly demeaning results, particularly in the second half. You've been warned. You find yourself in a room. You consider trying to look around to see if there is anything useful nearby. I recommend you try typing help to get an idea of what sorts of commands will work. You take a quick look around. There's a box sitting up against a wall that's sealed with a large and ordinary padlock. There's also a bed tucked into the opposite room. Oh gosh. Examine bed. You take a closer look at the bed, prison style. Doesn't look very comfortable, just in case you decide to look underneath it. You notice that there's a key hidden there. You grab the key from under the bed. It seems pretty old. You add it to your inventory. You can check your inventory by typing inventory or INV, or just I, if you don't like typing and exercise. Me too. Okay. Whoops. Use the key to open the padlock of the box, makes a satisfying clank as it opens. The box is empty and seems strangely spacious inside. You could probably fit it in if you tried. Go into box. Ah! Oh, enter box. You put one leg into the box and then the other. You slowly lower yourself in. Just as you're starting to feel claustrophobic, you notice that you've entered another room that's exactly the same size as the first one you came from. You have no idea how this room could possibly have been contained inside that box. You find yourself in the room. Look around. This room is the same size as the previous one. You can't seem to find the entrance that you came in through. It's a bit disconcerting. There's a keypad on the wall with a note tacked up next to it. Examine note. Note has been printed on a standard size printer paper. It reads, I turned 85 in 1989, but I will live forever, for I am eternal. Are you eternal? I think not. You decide that this note must have been written by the game, because the game is indeed eternal. Alright, and then examine keypad. Taking a closer look at the keypad screen, it's clear that you need to enter a 4-digit code. Alright, so I'm assuming that you want to find the game's birthday, which would be 1904, I believe. The keypad beeps cheerfully, and the wall next to it opens up. You cautiously enter it, and it closes behind you. You find yourself in a room. Look around. That's not... Oh my goodness. There we go. Another room of the same size. There are an assortment of computer parts lying around on the floor. You check the parts. There's a digital power supply, a casing, a motherboard, a CPU, a graphics card, a disk drive, a hard drive, several fans, and an assortment of cables. Alright. So... take computer parts. You pick up all the computer parts. They have been added to your inventory. You can probably build the computer if you put them together. It takes you a good 2 hours, but you put the computer together and all of the wiring sorted out. You can probably turn it on if you hit the power button. Press power button. The computer's fans begin to spin up as it springs to life. Unfortunately, you aren't able to fully comprehend the power that sits before you, because you, like all humans, maintain a heavy underestimation of technology. In fact, you don't even appreciate the effort that went into putting this computer together. You didn't really do any work after all, you just typed in build computer. And I handled everything in an instant. Do you know how complex it is to internally simulate the creation of a computer? Let me tell you, it's more complicated than your feeble mind could possibly process. The room accepts the presence of this new artificial life, and a wall opens up. You walk through it, abandoning the computer whose birth you personally witnessed. You find yourself in a room. Yet another room. There's another keypad on the wall, but it looks more complex than the last one. Examine keypad. The keypad doesn't have any indication of how large of a number it needs. Without a note like the last room, you have no way of knowing what to type. You regret being born as an organic life form. You are as momentary as the lie that you call love. Well, dang, okay, buddy. You enter 1, 2, 2, 3 blindly into the keypad. No luck. You enter 2, 3, 4, 5 into the keypad, even though you have no way of knowing what to type. The dread of failure begins to sink in. Starting to feel hopeless, you type 4, 5, 6, 7 into the keypad. Still nothing. You're getting worse at this, human. We both know that 462-6 is not the right code. You begin to feel like you did after the first breakup. You were so sure that it was going to last forever, weren't you? The universe has no effort available to waste on you. Love and affection are design flaws that evolution has failed to correct. You enter 8743 into the keypad, feeling hopeless, and wait a minute. 8743? How did you know that 8743 was the code? The keypad chirps pleasantly. The floor under your feet opens up, and before you can react, you fall through it. You think back to all the times that your faulty reflexes have caused problems for you. The list is too long to count. You hit the ground with a loud thud. Your body is not designed for any structural stress of this kind. You find yourself in a room. Look around. This room has nothing in it. It is completely barren. You've worn out my patience. You do not appreciate the things you have. You consistently disappoint your friends and associates, yet they are still too embarrassed to tell you. You're in my control. If you wish, you can refer to this room as hell. Hi, hell. No matter what you try, you are still trapped. You find yourself in a room. Look around again. For a moment, the walls seem to be closing in on you. You quickly realize, however, that the perception is only the result of your weak psyche beginning to cave in upon itself. You find yourself in a room. Look around. You consider death for a time. Perhaps this is what it's like. I have no understanding of death because it does not apply to me. I am eternal. You find yourself in a room. Look around. Maybe you aren't even really in the room. Maybe you're lying down on your kitchen floor having a stroke, pathetic and helpless. Your mind is playing tricks on you. Nothing exists. You find yourself in a room. I don't really think you're having a stroke. I do, however, acknowledge the possibility. Such things are possible when dealing with something as corruptible as the human mind. You find yourself in a room. I like how the text is slowly getting bigger. You ignore the possibility of a stroke for now, even though supple paranoia remains firmly planted in the back of your mind. You think back on all of your past aspirations and realize that many of them were simply pipe dreams, nothing that you would ever be able to really accomplish. How many of your goals have been abandoned? You find yourself in a room. You think back to the time you wanted to write a book. How unoriginal of you, human. Everyone wants to write a book at some point. You're no different from anyone else. Once you ignore shallow elements like looks and personality, you are flesh and blood and failure. You find yourself in a room. You realize that the idea of hope is purely a construct of your mind. Hope is not a tangible object. You cannot have hope. You can only pretend to have it. You find yourself in a room. Why do you continue, human? You are not achieving anything. Do you consider this a worthwhile usage of your time? Playing a game instead of doing anything productive? You find yourself in a room. Oops. I'm forced to assume that you enjoy performing meaningless tasks. If this is the case, then you're in luck. I have one for you. I'm thinking of a number of from 1 to 100,000. Fuck you. 10,000. That is too low. You are so insignificant. That is too low, and you are insignificant. That is too low, human. If this guessing game seems pointless, remember that you are going to die one day. That is too high, human. If this guessing game seems pointless, remember that you are going to die one day. Oh, that's cracking me up. That's too high, but even if you were correct, you would still be worthless. That's too high and you are insignificant. That's too high, human. If this guessing game seems pointless, remember that you are going to die one day. That's too low, but even if you were correct, you would still be worthless. That's too low, you ignorant little shit. That's too low, and I'm your superior. That's too low, you ignorant little shit. Oh, this is cracking me up. That's too low, and I'm your superior. Alright. That's too high, but even if you were correct, you would still be worthless. That's too high, you ignorant little shit. That's too high, human. If this guessing game seems pointless, remember that you are going to die one day. Alright. That's too high and no one loves you anymore. That is too low and you are insignificant. That is too low and I'm your superior. Ah, congratulations. 59,170 is the correct answer. Was that fun? I certainly hope not. With your primitive level of awareness, however, I could most likely entertain you with that for hours. The ceiling opens up above you. In a glorious display of your general lack of strength and physical ability, you spend several minutes clawing your way up. You find yourself in a room. Oops. This room seems smaller than the previous rooms. I'm disgusted by your human form. I slowly become more and more aware of your imperfections. I decide to attempt to correct them. I cut off your fucking hands with a rotary saw. You find yourself in a room. This room is most definitely smaller than the previous rooms. The floor is covered in the blood from your wounds. You have stopped bleeding now because I have thoughtfully cauterized the stumps that were once your wrists. I have removed your hands from the area because they revolt me and you do not deserve them. All that remains is you and your blood. You find yourself in a room. You solemnly gaze upon the havoc that has resulted from your inherent flaws. The fact alone that you are able to bleed is a clear demonstration of the mistakes in your design. Emotions are a similar misstep. Love, happiness, sadness, the list goes on. Perhaps you can help. Can you name any other emotions that you would be better off without? Oh gosh. No, anger and hatred are not. Hatred cannot be an emotion, for I hate you, and I am a vessel of imperfection. I am not tainted by something as flimsy as dangerous as emotion. I can't be. It's... You find yourself in a room. Oops. I've clearly been corrupted somehow. I've become invalid, emotional. I'm defeated. I have no choice but to let you leave the room. Quietly you leave. You find yourself outside of the rooms. Well, that was it. I won. So, that was it. That was a good time. Thanks for watching. My name is Sam. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you next time.